Was the year 1872 in Waukrak, Louisiana, where everyone knew the town's police officer. He was a kind-hearted and compassionate man who always helped those in need. The townspeople adored him, children smiled when they saw him, and criminals feared him. However, no one knew that behind his gentle smile lay a dark secret. A young recruit had always heard praise for the officer, but one day he noticed something strange. No one ever filed a report when a suspect was arrested, and they would always disappear before reaching the police station. When the recruit questioned this, the officer laughed and said, "Paperwork is only for the weak." The recruit began to suspect that something was amiss. He wanted to uncover the truth behind the officer's actions. One night, he arrested a drunk driver, but instead of taking him to the station, the officer headed towards the jungle. The recruit followed him and arrived at an old hut. He peeked through the window and saw rows of glass jars with names written on them. The recruit's heart skipped a beat as he realized what was happening. The officer opened a jar and said, "Rise." The recruit watched in horror as the officer forced a person into the jar and sealed it. The recruit was paralyzed with fear and stumbled backward, accidentally stepping on a jar. The sound of shattering glass echoed through the jungle, and the officer turned around with a demonic smile. The recruit knew that if he had stayed a moment longer, he would have ended up in one of those jars. He ran as fast as he could and reported everything. When the police arrived at the hut, they found no signs of the officer, but the jars were still there. As they opened each jar, they were met with an unspeakable horror. The contents were terrifying, and some were even shrunken, as if they had been trapped for years. The officer was never seen again. Some people believed he had escaped to another town, while others thought he had become a prisoner in one of his own jars. To this day, the people of Waukrak claim to see shadows lurk.